dragged into this. And then, I realized that I wanted to do it for the next, 70 years. But, it started off with my sister, She was denied a basic right of an education, and that pissed me off. I don't like when people mess with my family or those who I care about, for that matter. I remember one day they called out in the morning announcements, because we went to the same high school. She was older. When I was a sophomore and she was a senior, that she had won a scholarship. So we came home that day, and she told her parents, and they were really happy, and the crying and everything, and it was really beautiful. But then 2 weeks later, we found ourselves in the same living room with my parents crying. But it was because she had been told that she couldn't use that scholarship because she didn't have papers. My mom called the student immigrant movement and got my sister involved, and then through her, I got dragged into it at the beginning, dragged into a meeting. The next thing I knew, I was canvassing, was knocking doors for 7 hours, 7 days a week in Riviera to get out the immigrant vote, and I felt great. I loved it. This is the beginning of our victory, of a victory that the immigrant community needed yesterday, but did not happen. One day I was like, shit, I want to do this for the rest of my life. So I sat down the organizer from SIM at the time and told him, you need to give me a job. I want to do this. And he said, no, I'm not going to give you a job. You just don't ask me for a job like that. And I was like, no, you're going to give me a job. It's no longer up to the power holders, it's up to us. I'm looking at the brothers from Centro Presente over here, and they have a banner that says, Unión, Poder y Justicia, unity, power, and justice. Those are the basic principles of this campaign. Those are the basic principles of the student immigrant movement, and we want to invite you to join the struggle. I don't just want to invite you to an action, I want to invite you to take action. Because if we don't stand in the front lines of this campaign together, then we're not going to win. And I don't know about you, but I want to win. I'm here to win. Going into this field, there needs to be an openness to learn. I think that we can't assume that organizing is, sending 50 emails a day and making 100 phone calls a day. But there's so much more than that, Understanding relationships, what it takes to build a relationship, and how relationships are the foundation to anything that we do, understanding stories of other people, understanding strategy, understanding action, and having all these learnings and being open to learning from failure. That's part of the learning, This is a craft, and unlike other crafts, you don't become a good organizer when you have a toolbox full of tools. It's the pursuit of that toolbox that makes you a good organizer, because that's when you mess up, and that's when you reflect, and that's when all of the learning happens. Having a toolbox is useless. Learning how to use it it's worth it.
Sort of like having a camera is useless.
In some ways.